I'm Earl Mitchell of the Miami Dolphins. You're watching Bring the Pain Sports.
Hey folks, this is Richard Walker with BTP Sports. We are live at the 2016 Advocare Kickoff. I'm here with my man Robert Kelly of TexSport Publications. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Good game today.
Excellent game today. We just witnessed University of Houston football history. The Cougars going to win 33-23, upsetting, quote unquote, the Oklahoma University Sooners. Tell me, what's your take on the game today?
I was amazed. I thought it was either going to be a blowout by Oklahoma or it was going to be very close. And Oklahoma was going to come out top. But Greg Ward and Tom Herman made a converter out of me when we talked last Saturday. I was iffy. This is the real thing. They're doing a great job.
Now, I think we saw a tale of two different Cougs teams. The first quarter and a half, University of Houston's offense was very conservative. You and I were talking in the press box, kind of scratching our heads because on one particular drive, they got down all the way down to the 10-yard line. They ran the ball 3 times in a row, settled field goals. And you and I were talking about you can't beat Oklahoma by settling for field goals. But in retrospect, I think that was kind of Coach Herman's plan, was to take the steam out of the OU offense, and then they opened up the playbook sort of the middle of the second quarter, and they never looked back. What do you think about that?
I agree with that. In fact, the Houston defense looked a little sluggish in the first quarter. OU came down there and scored twice, but then they kind of clamped down on them. And with that 110-yard field goal reception for a touchdown, that was a play that was just, I think that was a turning point of the game.
Yeah, you touched on something that I think is significant. 110-yard field goal, which, by the way, is the longest field goal return for a touchdown in NCAA history. This man was literally an inch or two away from the goal line, and he returned the kick all the way back for a touchdown. So now I have to go back to it from a historical perspective. We know about the magnitude of this win. So the Cougars come in ranked number 15. They upset the number 3 seed. Does this exonerate the ghost of the past, specifically the chicken soup game where Joe Montana in 1978 led the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to a last-minute comeback against the Cougs in the Cotton Bowl? What do you think? What do you think this win sets this program?
I think it does. It's going to set it up to a higher level. It's going to get them to the point where they've got confidence. They go into Lamar next week. They're going to be big and high. I mean, that's going to be a blowout. And it sets it up. I mean, I think they're going to run the table. I don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to stop them this year. They're going to go 12-0 and hopefully get a big bowl bid.
Okay. Well, you kind of touched on my next question. Now that they've defeated the number 3 seed, and obviously the goal now is to run the table, win the AAC conference. Does that mean that if that were to happen, if they were to win here today and run the table, do you think the Cougs make it to the NCAA playoffs?
I would like to see that, but as we talked about on our TV show last Saturday, that's going to be up to the power people, the powers that be, and I still don't think they're going to give U of H a chance. If they run the table, I think they deserve it, but that's not my call. But I think they will be considered.
Okay, last question for you, Robert. Now, what do you think in terms of ranking these two teams fall after this? I mean, OU comes in as the number 3 program in the country. They lose their first game, and then, of course, this is a big win for UH. So where do you see them in the rankings after this?
I see OU probably dropping out of the top 10, maybe down to 11 or 12. I see U of H probably going to about 7 or 8, maybe even as high as 6. I mean, come on, they knocked out the number 3 team in the country, team that was in the Final Four championship playoffs last year. It's got to say a lot. If the people can't see that, then maybe they don't need to be doing these rankings.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you.
As always, we appreciate your input, and you got so much football knowledge. I had to take a moment to talk to you.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right. Great game here again, folks. University of Houston wins 33-23. Way to kick off the season. 2016 Texas Advocare Kickoff. Go Cougs. You're watching Bring the Pain Sports.